Hello everyone, Cleric here again. As you may have noticed from the title of the video, we are running a tournament. Yes, this is going to be Cleric's Armored Core 6 No Missile Tournament. As you may have noticed from recent tournament events across various places, missiles tend to kind of just reign supreme at the moment. So to kind of give other weapons and other build styles a chance to kind of shine a little bit, we decided to run our very first tournament from our Discord, a tournament where missiles aren't an option. So if missiles are on the name, if they're in the ID or description, missiles are not allowed. Anything else is completely viable. We'll get some more details here in a minute. So let me give you some of the brass tacks details. So this tournament will take place on September 30th. It'll take place at 10 a.m. CDT or CST, depending on how you look at it. The main thing being, if you want to have an idea where to go, it's going to be 10 a.m. Chicago time on Saturday, September 30th. That makes it easier for you to look it up as far as where it's at. As it may mention, it's a no missile tournament, so missiles are not allowed. Everything else is completely allowed. Yes, this even includes people who are concerned about bugged items like nebulas. Honestly, people have been crying for nebulas for a while because they like the weapons, haven't much chance to use them. And in a PvP setting like a tournament, it'd be curious to see how often the bug issues actually happen. So this is actually going to be a 64 person bracket. 64 is going to be capped out at that. Not going to anything beyond 64. We're kind of running this as a test because we're drawing a few different things with this tournament to see how they work, because we may or may not have a really big tournament announced here fairly soon where some of these things are going to be figured out. So the goal of the tournament is me and my helpers and my staff and the other people who really helped a lot in the Discord. They were amazing. I'll shout them out here in a little bit. Have worked some things out for systems, and we want to see who works well and what section and what spot, who can do what, and also some things we can fix for the next tournament we run it. So this is kind of our test tournament to see how we do, how we run it, how it works, how it looks, and see if there's anything we need to modify before we run our next tournament. So here are the basic details. It is going to be a 1v1 tournament. It is going to be best 2 out of 3 for almost the entire tournament, except for losers final and grand final. With being double elimination, there will be a losers bracket, so everything's going to be best 2 out of 3 up until the point that you get to the losers final, at which point it'll be 3 out of 5, as will grand finals. All right, so the settings are going to be as such. We're going to be doing 2-minute rounds. I know the standard's been kind of 3. I realize we're eliminating missiles in a sense to kind of eliminate the runaway for 3 minutes game. Not because we're not saying it's not a completely invalid strategy, because honestly it's been around since the dawn of Armored Core. The main reason being, it's not the most fun thing to watch. It's not fun to spectate, and honestly it won't be fun to commentate. So commentating, more surprising there, coming in a minute. And we're also going to be doing all maps are going to be allowed. So rather than doing map bans, which gets kind of confusing going back and forth, be very straightforward. So we're using a lot of kind of what I'm going to call fighting game rules as far as map selection goes. Every single match is going to start on the Bonasea Dunes. So that's where it's going to be. Nowhere else. That is where it's going to be. We're starting in the dunes, and with the dunes, what's going to happen is after the first match is over, whoever lost gets to pick the next map. So they pick the next map and they win. The person who lost that round gets to pick the next map. So when you go to the next thing in your bracket, you will then at that point start it once again at the dunes, and then loser will pick a map, and so on and so forth. Every single map is allowed. I realize that sounds a little bit crazy, but honestly, I'm tired of seeing the same 2 or 3 maps over and over again. I'm looking forward to see a wider variety of both weapons we mentioned earlier and also maps. All right. So one of the things we're trying out for this tournament is build submission. So in the link in the description of the video itself, it'll be linked on the Start GG, which is where we're going to be hosting it. It's on Start GG, which is where the bracket's going to be. And also the form you're going to fill out is a build submission form. You're going to fill out this form. In the form is going to be your option to select all your parts. You're then going to submit it to us. We'll review it to make sure you do in fact have no missiles, at which point you can submit it and we'll verify it. You can have up to 2 builds submitted. That is correct. You can only have 2 builds in the entire tournament. No modifications are allowed. The 2 builds you have are the 2 builds you get to use. So you better agonize a little bit over it and see that you can decide what you want to use and make sure you're happy with what you got and take those 2 builds in. And what's interesting here is that it's not going to be any more winner stays on current build. You can pick between your 2 builds between each match as much as you want, whether you won or lost. There'll be a little bit of roulette wheel to see how it goes. So looking forward to build submissions, seeing how that goes. We're hoping this is a system we can actually work all the kinks out of too, and working really well. The idea is kind of to fast track a little bit of the building submission, kind of cause more variety, and also prevent cherry picking. There's been a lot of cherry picking in previous tournaments where people were watching what builds are doing really well and designing AC specifically against them and then moving forward. We want people to pick builds they feel comfortable and feel strong about playing, and then sticking with those builds the rest of the tournament. So build submissions are going to be a thing. So part of your registration, you must also submit your builds if you're not submitted and builded. So let me back up. So registration is actually open now. So as you see this video, it's actually going to be open, and it's going to close on Friday the 29th at 10 p.m. Chicago time. I'm just gonna say that for now because it's probably easier to figure out that way for people. Both your registration and your builds had to be submitted by that time. If they are not, you are not going to be allowed to participate in the tournament. Now I realize there might be some exceptions made based on certain circumstances, but that is going to be that is our intended deadline. A lot of people tend to kind of just wait last minute. We kind of want to get this figured out in advance and kind of go on from there, and we will go from here. So a lot of the details as far as AC building and modifications will be in the Start GG rules, or the form rules. You'll get an idea of how it's going to work. As far as people you suspect might be cheating, in other words, you think they modified their build. So in the win-lose screen, you actually can screenshot or look at your opponent's build. I encourage you, once you think you may have been cheated on something, to go to that screen, look at their build, and then submit it to us, and actually go to our Discord. In the Discord, which is going to be a requirement to join the tournament, is joining the Discord. Is you can actually go ask an organizer, ask a tournament organizer. There's going to be a channel in there. You can ask us, and we can we'll investigate and see if the person's build matches up with what they submitted with us in advance. Now, absences and disconnections. So Start GG is going to be set to a 15-minute start time. So from the time of the start of the tournament at 10 a.m. Chicago time that Saturday, you're going to have 15 minutes to check in and start your matches. There is a 5-minute buffer in between there. So you have 15 minutes to get checked in and 5 minutes to start the match. So once both of you are checked in, go into matchmaking. There's going to be a matchmaking channel also in the Discord, at which point you can do matchmaking there, or you can message someone directly on Discord as long as you have your matches. Once your matches are completed, please go into the Ask an Organizer section and report who won your match. We'll make sure the brackets get updated so that we can get the match going forward. There's been some issues in other tournaments where people are misreporting or people are claiming something happened. This will prevent a lot of those issues from happening in the bracket. I have like 6 other people who are helping us out, so it should make it go pretty fast. It shouldn't be too bad. So just let us know who won. If there's any disputes, we'll settle them as necessary. Now, streaming the matches. Oh, actually, excuse me. Let me go back. So that is for absences or DQs. And by the way, if you get DQ for no attendance, you get DQ for new attendance. It's kind of how it is. Disconnects. Now, disconnects in the middle of the game. I know, unfortunately, with an online game, it's going to happen. We look at it this way. If you get disconnected from a match before any damage was done, in other words, you started a match, you're going to a match, and no one was damaged in any way, shape, or form, that does not count as a loss. That just count as rerunning that current match. But if damage has been dealt in any way, shape, or form, and a player gets disconnected, the loss is going to go to the disconnected player. I know there's no real way to really do this fairly, but it's the best way we can think of at this moment. If anyone can think of anything better, feel free to comment or ask us in the Discord. We're all more than welcome and open to good ideas. So streaming format. We will be streaming a match throughout the tournament. At least that's the intention. Staying on the winner's side for the most part, at which point once we've made it all the way through winners, we'll go to the loser's side, and the plan is to stream all of top 8. If we're going to stream your match, we'll ping you real quick, let you know. You'll join our room, at which point we will go about it. All the the details for as far as connected rooms will be in there as well with the matchmaking. So please go below, look at the description below. Join the tournament. Go to Start GG. You don't have an account there, you can set one up and join. Join the Discord. Get your builds submitted in advance that we can vet them. At which point we will give you a wonderful role on our Discord, basically calling you tournament verified or tourney verified, saying you've completed all the process in order to be able to participate in the tournament. You have a different text color too, so we'll know you're one of those people. And I mentioned I had a special note here. So the special note is, on top of me, I won't be participating in the tournament. I'll just be commentating. I'll be joined by the king of Armored Core Drip and my best friend, Zealous. Yep, that guy. So you might remember him from the Armored Core 6 showcase. The guy killed it as the commentator on the PvP match was between us And I cannot be more excited to have this man by my side once again, as we have been over the years, and commentating some Armored Core 6 FGC style. Can't wait for it. This is going to be an amazing opportunity to do this. And he's also going to be there for the future tournament that is yet to be announced. And let me tell you, that future tournament is, I think personally, is a really cool idea that I can't wait to share with you all. So as I mentioned before, give credit where credit is due. I want to give a big shout out to the folks in my Discord who helped me out with this. That's Cassis, Drifty, Gray, Lex, Mr. Wolf, and Raz. Look, seriously guys, you guys killed it with this. You guys helped out a ton. Been doing the forms and getting things figured out and modifying the rules and flushing it out and checking my terrible misspellings and grammar. You guys did great. So I cannot thank you guys enough for pitching in and helping out with this, and also being willing to help out and pitch in during the actual tournament itself. I know some of you can't, but I'm glad a lot of you can, and I cannot wait to run this tournament for you. Now look, you understand what's going on here. This tournament for Armored Core 6 is designed to showcase, hopefully, a variety of builds. Now people are saying, we're just gonna see a whole bunch of Zimmermans. You know what, maybe we will. Or maybe we'll see some new tech that just destroys Zimmermans, which, by the way, there is quite a few things out there that can beat Zimmermans. Zimmermans are not the be all end all. And with not having, so we're not gonna have the ability to have constant missile boating. We should actually see some interesting, let's always say, forays and melees in this match. Heavily looking forward to it. So you want to sign up for the tournament, there's only 64 slots. You better get your slot in now before you have a chance to lose it. At which point, this is just for pride and glory, although I am working on a little something special for the person. Maybe a special, you know, role in my Discord, maybe a special emblem we're going to make for you. And the big tournament will have some other things involved. So go down. If you want to see more tournaments, like, subscribe, become a member, join the Discord. You have to tune in for the tournament anyways. And all seriously, you want to see more tournaments, you enjoy what we're doing. If you want to see Zealous being, you know, the awesome person that he is, and seeing us co-commentate and try to give this some hype to these tournaments, I'm looking forward to have a chance to get to do it with you. So I will see you all either in the next video or hopefully at the tournament.